Hi, my name is Norma Sanchez, and today I'm going to start off a presentation to let you guys know about the school counselor services here at Madison Middle School. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. So as you know, I was recently hired to become the school counselor here at Madison Middle School, and I looked at the survey results from staff and students and their opinion on what a school counselor is. So I'm going to start off by giving you a little bit of feedback or history about what school counseling is. So Edford 2019 defines school counseling as a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families, and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, and education and career goals. In addition, school counselors are also responsible for determining the needs of the school population and for implementing peer support programs designed to meet those needs. So the second definition came from the American School Counselors Association. So this is an organization that has helped through many years identify what the school counselor position is and what the profession um, looks like and the role of the school counselor. In order for somebody to become a school counselor like me that I just finished, the California Association of School Counselors has these requirements that need to be met before anybody can start working as a school counselor or hold that title. And the first is to have 48 units in a master's program, and it has to be at an accredited university. Another requirement is practicum log hours with school-age children, and that is at all three levels, which include elementary, middle, and high school. Also passing the California Basic Educational Skill Test, and this test just gives it's given so that an individual can show the mastery of the areas in basic skills like reading, writing, and math. Also, live scan fingerprinting process must be complete, and also a recommendation or have the PPS credential, and that's only for students or for individuals who want to work in a school setting that is K through 12. Some of the higher colleges, uh, sorry, the community colleges or the universities don't always require the PPS credential, but the elementary, middle, and high school do. Okay, so you might be thinking, what services can a school counselor provide? And from the survey results that we gather, some of the teachers and a lot of the students don't know what a school counselor does. So, as a school counselor, we provide services to students, parents, teachers, community organizations, social workers, school psychologists, and community liaisons as well. And about 80% of the services that we provide are direct one-on-one with the student. So what are the ethical and legal mandates as a school counselor? Well, just like any other job, we have to have good ethical standards, but the American Counseling Association has ethical standards based on generally accepted norms, beliefs, customs, and values that apply to the counseling field. So, within those ethical standards, there is the AXA model, and this is just a reference that counselors can use when working with students, and it provides, like um, different different categories where counselors can reference back, like if there's an ethical problem that comes up, like boundaries with students, with all this new technology forms of or media or social media platforms. um, what can a counselor do, if a student requests us to follow them on their personal platform, social media platform, or if a student comes and says that they're pregnant and they don't want their parents, as counselors, are we allowed to, let parents know what is happening? So this is just kind of like a reference that school counselors can use to guide us through those situations. And also, as you know, since we are work employees and state employees, we are mandated reporters. So we must report any suspected abuse, and that is any type of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And it doesn't have to be, it can only be like if you feel like the student is how do I say this? If you suspect that there is abuse happening, even though that the student doesn't clearly state, if you have that feeling, you should always report it, and then Child Protective Services will then follow up with the family or the student, and get involved in that case. Okay, so now talking about the roles and services, there are two different types of services that we provide. The first service is direct services, which include individual counseling with the student, group counseling, core curriculum, individual school planning, and student planning. So, as counselors, we provide services in the education setting. And the main goal of a school counselor is to provide direct services. In my role here at Madison Middle School, I'll be working with students individually, if they have if they need any support, to manage anxiety, get some more coping skills, social skills, and academic skills. I would be there to support them as well as guide them through their academic path, and that includes the transition to high school. So, in addition, I can also lead group counseling groups, and that is to tackle some of the topics that I mentioned before, like anxiety, depression, social skills, and academic skills. So it's just more for students who are more open to doing it in a group setting. But I can offer both individual or group, so that way I can cover more bases for students than one or the other. So with in regards to individual student planning, my role is also to coordinate with our feeder school, with our high school, and coordinate some dates when the high school, our feeder high school, would come in here and give you a presentation about the classes they offer and how to sign up for their classes for the following year. So then we would coordinate that where they can come in, you can decide, and then you can ask any questions that they have. I also have an indirect type of service that I provide, and this is through consultation and collaboration with teachers, staff, parents, post-secondary school personnel, and community agencies. So like I said before, even though my main role is to work with students, there are times when I will be working with you staff, and also with parents and students to coordinate some meetings like the 504 plans or the SSTs, where this is when we come together and help the students that are going through a very challenging time and see what are their strengths and what are the areas of growth, and how we can help them get back on track if they're falling behind, or if they're having a lot of mental health issues. We can bring that up and bring community agencies that can help us address those concerns there. Another part of indirect services is the suicide risk assessment, where I make referrals to community agencies and they can come and assess for that risk. And the referral to community agencies can be as simple as mental health services, if the family needs resources for like food, housing, toys for Christmas, any type of services that have to do with any community agencies, I would be able to refer them to those type of services. And also, the parent teacher conferences are included in here because the 504 and the SSTs are kind of like that, but if a parent comes and says that they have a challenge with their student and the teacher, then we can come together and see what it is that they need, or vice versa. If you as teachers have um, any challenges with the student, whether it's behavior, the lack of work or attendance, you can always come to me, and then I can talk to the student, talk to the family, and if there's a need, we can coordinate a meeting just to kind of get those issues out of the way. Okay, so program organization. So I talked a little bit about the AXA national model. So this is a framework of comprehensive school counseling program, and that consists of four components, and it's foundation, management, delivery, and accountability. So this model allows us school counselors to determine what type of services we're going to provide to students. So one of the things is just the first component is just building that foundation of what is it that we do here in the school setting with students and how we manage those services. And then another part is the delivery and the accountability. So how are we going to be able to identify what is the need and what is the outcome? So So there are many students who struggle in school due to many reasons, and one way to identify students and services we need is we first must know the areas that they are struggling with. In order to do that, we must work with administrators and teachers, one, to identify the students' needs, two, write annual student outcome goals for those students or for a group of students, align annual student outcome goals, school counseling program activities, and interventions with the school improvement goals. So, for example, since we work on semester grades, we can do like 6 week or 12 week period where we track the students that are falling behind or in danger of failing or that have more than 2F. We can create intervention programs within the semester to see how they're gonna improve throughout the year. And tracking their progress and seeing what is it that they need in order to achieve those goals. So then, with this whole program organization, it's how will we measure effectiveness of the program and specific services? Well, we've kind of started that process with the survey that you guys completed and the surveys that students completed, and so that is just one of the ways that we can gather information to see if there's effect, if the program is working or not. Um, so surveys and data comparison are a great source to measure effectiveness. And using standardized test results, we can get an idea of where each ethnicity and grade stands at. So, for example, we can look at the data that reflects students who are below standard level and see why is it that they're at that level. We can look at grades, we can look at demographics, we can look at socioeconomic status, whether they're English learners or not. There's different areas that we can take a look to see what the impact is on their academic level. So with this data, we can also further use it to identify students in it, like I said, in that specific category, and then present our data that we find based on those groups that we serve, and present the data to parent groups like ELAC, PTSA boosters meeting, just to let them know where we're at in terms of, you know, um, closing the achievement gap or working with the school district with their goals. Um, I think meetings like this, a faculty meeting or uh, giving presentations are also helpful so that as teachers where some of the students are and why they're, having behavior problems in your class, why they're not coming to class, why, all those why questions that we have about students. And like I said, district meetings, I know the district where I was doing my internship, um, they would hold meetings at night for parents in the community, and they would hold like a forum to see where parents' concerns most of all.